Hi, this is Annette Sullivan from Lavender Thoughts. Today I'm going to show you how I make a pop-up slider easel card. So this is it lying flat, and then if you hang on to the belly band here, you can see it go up like that. Okay, it's nowhere near as complicated as you would think. There's a couple of little mechanisms on the back and another one in there to pop up the pieces. So today I'm going to be using some of the new Violet Dreams specialty designer paper, which is coming out in the online exclusives in July. And for all these pieces, I will have a PDF file linked on my blog that you can download to get all the measurements. But you want a card base, which is just a quarter of a sheet of cardstock. Then you're going to have a pop-up piece at the back. Oops, I'm going to do it in the right order. So base insert, so that's actually going to be stuck on the base there to write on, and then there's going to be a belly band to wrap around it, and then we've got the pop-up piece for the back, and then we've got the pop-up piece for the front with the two layers, and then we've got the two pieces for the front and back mechanism. Now in the PDF file I have actually got measurements for centimetres and inches depending on which market you're in. And for my art panel, I'm going to use one of these die-cut pieces from the Violet Dreams designer paper that I just mentioned. And the sentiment is white embossed on gorgeous grape cardstock, and it comes from the 2006 Virtual Card Making Retreat stamp set. Okay, a couple of little tricky bits to put it together, but I'll go through all those. So the first thing you want to do is to actually glue your base insert piece on. Like so. And then the next thing you're going to do is to fold your belly band. And just make sure that it goes, it's not too tight around the card, because obviously you want to be able to slide it easily. So that's a little bit tight, so we'll just make that a little bit looser. And that's going to slide quite well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just pop that over there like that. Line it up at the bottom. And open that out. Oh, I'm just getting myself a little bit confused here. Okay, so you can use any sort of punch, because what you want to do is just have a piece so that you can actually hang on to it to pull. So in the middle of this front of your belly band, so just eyeball it, so you're just going to something like that. And then if you close your belly band, because you need to do the same in the back, and it's a bit hard to try and do all the layers at once. It's a bit much for the punch to handle. So I've actually got that a bit I might do one at a time. Okay. So I'll just fold that bit, line it up on the right angle, and then do this one. And line it up again. And so now that all lines up to go on there. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we've actually got it scored across the bottom here. So then that's going to sit on the card. It's going to line up there. And you want to have your belly band. So if you line up this piece so that it's covering that base insert, so you've got your border all the way around. And then if you put the front of your belly band over the top of there, but you want your belly band flush with the bottom of the card, and you want to line it up down there. So what you're going to do is to glue onto our belly band. So that will actually line up. More thumbs today. So I actually want that. Like so. And then again, we want to punch out that little extra piece there. Okay. I've got that quite lined up. I might just cut out that little bit there. Okay. So then that can then just get so I've got that all the way down. Okay, now our front pieces, and just glue our layers together. And we're going to get the front mechanism, which is the long one. And burnish all the score lines. Okay, so I haven't scored that one correctly. So it should have been at 1.5, 3, 4.5. and 6. Okay. Easily fixed because it's behind. So that's just going to form a little box. So if we put glue on this end piece and fold it down like that, and then that will just open like so. And then what we're going to do is to put that, so I don't know whether you can, I can show you on this one so you can see what you're doing. It's actually going to sit like this. So when it folds down, it'll be like that. So I found the easiest way to do it was if you turn it over like that and line that up so that it's along that score line. So then when you glue down that little piece, it's going to tip up like that. So fold it down like that, put glue on that last little piece there, and then centre that in your little piece there so that it's on the edge of the belly band piece, or the slider piece. Okay, so then what we're going to do is on the next piece, and then we're going to tip it up, and that's going to glue it to this piece here. So that when you slide, it's going to pull that up once we've got our front piece on it. So then we get our front piece, and we're going to have glue all the way over that, and again centre that so that it's lined up to the bottom there. Just hang on to it for a minute so that the glue catches. So then we need to put the last piece, the last little mechanism, and as you can see from here, I'm just going to fold these two ends in. And put glue on this one. Now just slide that down out for a minute, and we'll line that, centre that so that it's just down a little bit from the top. So the idea is that when you've got, we'll just stick our belly band, slide a piece back in. So when the card's closed, you're not going to see the back of that. Okay, so that's stuck there. So then we're just going to put glue on this other piece, and then make sure we've got everything lined up flush. Put that down like that. hang on like that. Okay, so then we've got our slider. And that's all there is to it. Very simple. So we've already decorated our inside piece. And I've also decorated the envelope. So now I've got another die cut to put on the front here. And we'll just use some dimensionals on that. Okay. Okay, so I can just pop that on there. I've just got the sentiment across there. And I'm just going to glue that down because we've already got the dimensionals on the actual pretty violets there. And I'll pop that. About there. Okay, so there's our pop-up slider easel card. And it will just sit nicely on the table for them. And if you want to give them any hints to opening it, just tell them to hang on to the slider bit, the belly band bit, and pull out the bottom bit, and that'll slide it all up. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment and I'll get back to you on help. And there will be a link to the blog post with the video so that you can check out all the measurements. Thanks a lot for being with me today.